Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The Daily. It's Monday, November 28th, here with Greg Lawless. I'm Nick Fershaw. Hope everybody's holiday weekend was a good one. Greg, we're going to start with the big news. David Beckham. It's the news of the day pretty much every day around MLS and especially in Europe. And now, Greg, there's some news that David Beckham might have a potential front office position with the LA Galaxy.
Well, it's interesting. We've watched over the last couple of days since they won the MLS Cup that everyone's wondering what's going to happen. There's a huge offer on the table from PSG in France, supposedly up to $1 million a month for him to go and play for 18 months. He's going to make a decision on that after they come back from the Asian tour. But today there's now a report, or let's say a conjecture, that he might be offered a front office job, maybe a VP with AEG or the LA Galaxy. There's nothing really on the record about this, although Tim Lewicki is quoted as saying that he might want David Beckham to be some sort of an ambassador for AEG or the club. There's nothing yet concrete about this, and there's still nothing about what will happen to him after they come back from this Asian tour.
$1 million a month, that's a pretty good deal. That's
that
something
is
I could
not a bad
for here at MLSsoccer.com. You mentioned that Asian tour, the LA Galaxy, are out there. They're going to Indonesia, the Philippines, and Australia. They did this tour last year. This is what you get when you have David Beckham. You're able to make some of these tours and bring some of the fans out. But curious to see how it turns out for David Beckham and the LA Galaxy. Moving on, there's some news about Tim Ream. West Brom, we know he's training with them, and there's some interest that maybe they want to keep Tim Ream for even longer.
Yeah, they talked about maybe even going for a loan deal this offseason and with a move to a permanent deal possible as well. We'll see. The Red Bulls have been very adamant that they are not looking to sell Tim Ream at this point, and so I don't think that anything's really going to come of this one. Some news out of Red Bull camp, though, is also about Rafa Marquez and what will happen to him. Reportedly, right now, that they're not going to let him even train down with Atlas in Mexico. There have been rumors over the last month or so about him possibly going on loan to Atlas, or maybe even being sold back to Atlas, the club where he started his career in Mexico. But now they're saying that they're not even going to let him go on loan. So it will be interesting to watch what happens between Rafa Marquez and the Red Bulls.
Well, speaking of training stints, we found out on Friday that Andy Nahar, the DC United youngster, on his way to Tottenham for a brief training stint. And there's some other news about some internationals potentially coming to MLS as well.
Yeah, one of the names that has popped up consistently over the years, Clarence Seedorf, of course, the AC Milan legend, now supposedly maybe looking at MLS again. There's also a Swedish midfielder named Valentino Lay, who is also possibly in talks with an MLS team. Keep tuned to MLSsoccer.com to find out if anything comes of those.
Well, from the pro ranks to the NCAAs, the defending champs are out. The Akron Zips knocked out of the NCAA tournament. Caleb Porter, obviously the new U.S. U23 coach, has some time now to work with those guys now that Akron is out. Some other big name teams moving on: UNC, Louisville, UCLA, and Creighton. And unfortunately, Greg, Brown is out.
Brown is out. Overtime loss to St. Mary's up in Providence. But also, you didn't mention University of Connecticut. 3-0 victors in this one. A big win for them. They look very strong going into the quarterfinals this weekend.
And the team I was rooting for, the University of New Mexico, the underdogs, so to speak.
Underdogs, unbeaten all
certainly,
season.
But a newcomer to the college landscape. They were knocked out of the tournament. There's a complete coverage on MLSsoccer.com. You can find everybody that's moving on and knocked out. And for all the latest headlines, log on to MLSsoccer.com.